What up, YouTube? Major G back with another back here on the rim of Grand Canyon over here. See it in the background over here, and thought I'd try something new. But I try answering a few questions from Quora about Grand Canyon. So here we go. It's a little chilly too, actually. I kind of wish I'd brought a jacket. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's get the better lighting. There we go. A little better lighting. It's about sunset. Alright, so someone asks, why does the Grand Canyon have lines? I'm assuming that they are referring to, let me see if I can pull it up here. Ooh, there it is. So I'm assuming that you can see it kind of like right there, that there are different lines. I'm assuming that's what they're referring to. So the Grand Canyon, so the different lines or different colors in the canyon, those actually reflect the different kinds of stone that there are in the Grand Canyon, because this is the Grand Canyon obviously was formed over billions of years. There hasn't really been any one definitive reason that scientists have said why it has, but the most likely explanation is erosion. And so the lines, those are different. Those are actually different stones, and from it's almost like going in a time machine. So, and all those different lines there, the different colors, those are from different times in history, different eras. So that's where all that comes from. Let's see. What else do we have here? So someone else asked, how do I drive from the airport in LA to the Grand Canyon? So that's actually fairly simple. I'm assuming you're talking about LAX, or I'm assuming they're talking about LAX. LAX is on the far west side of LA, and it's on the far west side of LA, so it's pretty much a straight shot. So what you want to do is just take you want to drive through Pasadena. I believe that's the 218. So you would, from the airport, that would be the 10. You would either take the 10 or the 5. Is it the 5 or the 405? 405, I believe. You can take the 405. No. This is tricky because the airport's in an area that's kind of inaccessible from areas going east. So your best bet would be to take the 10. So you would take the 10 to the 405? No, take the 10 to the 5. There's not really any way around it. So you take the 10 east, the Interstate 10 east to Interstate 5, and then you can take 5 north up to 218. It's either the 210 or the 218. 210? Might be 210. But essentially you're looking for the way that's going to take you through San Bernardino and most importantly Pasadena. You want to drive through Pasadena. And then you would take that to the 210? Maybe it's the 218 to the 210. Oh no, 215, that's what it was. So once on that interstate, which was either 210 or 218, you take that to the 215, going north, and then that's going to merge with the 15, which takes you to Barstow. Once you get to Barstow, then you take the 40 East, Interstate 40 East. You're going to end up going through the Mojave Desert, take that basically all the way to Highway 64, State Highway 64 here in Arizona, and then you just take that north. Very simple drive. It's the only hard part is coming from the airport because of where the airport is. There's not really any way you're going to be able to avoid traffic because you're going to have to drive through downtown LA, which is terrible traffic. Let's see. Any last minute tips before I go hiking at Grand Canyon? Yes. So let's see. Let me see. My brother comes from free Ukraine to join me for this hike. Here we are. Okay. Are there wild animals or severe weather conditions there? So, that's actually going to depend on when you come here. Best time for hiking is usually considered to be spring or fall. And that's because the summers can be extremely hot inside the canyon, over 100 degrees. And the wintertime we get snow. So, we can get ice up here. We do get a lot of ice up here. In terms of severe, we don't really get that many blizzards, but it's just kind of being careful. We do get enough ice that you would need the kind of clips to your shoes so that you can walk on ice. Wild animals. We do have a number of wild animals, most of which are herbivores. So inside the canyon, you might be looking at mule deer, bighorn sheep. And once again, this is if you see it. It's not a guarantee. Best bet is to stay near populated areas or populated trails, because the more people there are around, the less likely you're going to run into wild animals. Most dangerous that we have here would be mountain lions. Inside the canyon, there are rattlesnakes and scorpions. So in terms of that's something you do kind of have to look out for. But once again, if you're, say, on like Bright Angel Trail, South Kaibab Trail, it's pretty unlikely you're going to run into any of those because they're pretty well populated. On the other hand, if you take the less known trails, Tonto Trail, stuff like that, you'll have a better chance of running into those things. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm skipping a few because a lot of these are pretty in-depth and political, so I'm not going to get into some of those. Another LA question. So LA to Grand Canyon, is it possible to cover it in a day? I'm in LA for the next 2 weeks. I'm yearning to go to Grand Canyon. People advise me to take a bus while others said Canyon is too big to be covered in a day. And I will spend most of my time on the road. Wow. Okay. They're really not giving themselves time to do that. So, if you are coming from Los Angeles, I'm going to just add in all the major cities in the area. So if you're coming from Albuquerque, if you're coming from LA or Vegas, or even Salt Lake City, essentially you're going to spend a day traveling. Just assume that. It takes essentially a day to get here from any of those places. Vegas is the shortest of all of those with about a 4 or 5 hour trip. But LA, you're spending 8 to 12 hours on the road. San Diego, maybe 10 to 12 hours on the road. San Francisco, you're spending probably like 12 to 16 hours on the road. Salt Lake City's probably around 12-ish, or 10, maybe 10 at the minimum. But I think the biggest thing that a lot of people don't realize about the Southwest, this includes Americans, is they don't realize how big it is. The Southwest is incredibly huge. Like I said, the nearest town to here is Flagstaff. If I want to go to the movies, I have to basically cancel anything I have in the park for that day, because it's a 3-hour round trip. I mean, once again, that's not even including the movie. You include the movie, that's about 5 or 6 hours. So, that's a quarter of your day gone right there. And that's the closest town. So, yeah, a lot of people, I've had a lot of couch surfers come up here, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna get here. We're just, driving in from da-da-da, and we're gonna come in. It shouldn't be a problem, and they always get here later than they expected because they didn't realize how far it is. So we are very, very, very far from anything else. So for this person, if you want to go to LA to Grand Canyon, there's tours that I know a Japanese guy who does tours from LA to here with Japanese guests, but he flies in. So, I mean, he's able to pull that off. I mean, he's got his pilot's license and everything. So like, he flies in here. If you're driving it, I mean, that's pretty much a day right there. If you're driving from the airport to here, just your first day is pretty much shot. That's it. Your first day is just coming here. So just expect that. So I think I'll take one more. This is a good one. Yeah, that's what I figured they were saying. Okay, so this person asks, is there an Ingress portal in Grand Canyon? So I'm probably going to get a bunch of... I forgot about this. This is actually a good question. So if you don't know what Ingress is an augmented reality game. Kind of like Pokemon. Pokemon Go. In fact, it's made by the same company as Pokemon Go. And Ingress was, I believe, their first game. So one of my buddies, Andy, if you go back and watch my Captain America Civil War preview video, where we're on the way there, Andy's like the guy in the front seat, the guy not driving, who's kind of quiet with a lot of hair. So he actually is a big Ingress fan. So yes, we have Ingress portals here. I don't know specifically what an Ingress portal is, but yes, you can play Ingress here. You can play Pokemon here. I play Pokemon here. I've just been lazy doing it recently because I have been lazy. In fact, I'm sitting right now. I'm sitting between about 2 or 3 Pokestops. There's a Pokestop right here probably about 2 right over here to my left. And then there's another one here to my right, and there's like 3 more down here. There's a gym like right here behind me, another gym right next to it. So if you want to play Ingress or Pokemon, and if you don't know Pokemon, a lot of the Pokemon Go locations were based on Ingress locations. They just kind of recycled those things. So yeah, you can play Ingress, you can play Pokemon Go. In fact, the Rangers actually put out a video a few months ago inviting people to come to national parks with Pokemon Go, because Pokemon Go, they have all the different what do you call it? All the Pokestops actually have little history bars next to them. Yeah, you can definitely play those things here. By the way, the only way to play them, I forgot to mention, this is very important. The only way to be able to play any of those games is if you have Verizon. This is not an advertisement for Verizon. It's just that Verizon is the only thing that works here. So, so we do have 4G LTE with Verizon. If you have anybody else, you're running the risk of not having service. That goes for AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, any of those guys. Some people, I've seen some people have service with them, other people not. So, I mean, you're rolling the dice if you have anybody but Verizon and you want to come up here and play those. All right, so, alrighty guys. So I think that should be enough for this video. But if you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll answer some more questions in the future. This is probably a pretty simple thing to do. This is actually a really simple thing to do. So that's because I've been running out of ideas on what to do with Grand Canyon stuff. So yeah, if you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, I've recently become active again on Twitter, because I haven't really been active since I left LA, since I moved here from LA. And so if you have any questions, you can tweet me at MAJ_G, or you can just put up a question in under the topic Grand Canyon. If you don't know what Quora is a question and answer site. It's also an app. So I can go in and write in these questions. I can go in and put my videos into these as answers to these questions. All right, so until next time, be excellent to one another and party on, dudes.
Mr. Dark.
Relax. We got this.
They know each other. Whoa! Was that Dini?